Hello everyone and welcome back to Untamed Chaos. In today's episode we'll be doing those base renovations I mentioned last week for, well, the spawn base here. So yeah, but before I get into starting those, there are a few things I did off camera because, well, over the past week I've been preparing stuff for all this week's episodes and some stuff for future week's episodes as well, just because, you know, I want to stay on top of things and there's a lot to do. And yeah, as you can see, I expanded the spawner room here and also got more spawners, including some more blaze ones from the nether, which I had to light very well so I didn't have blazes spawning in here. So I did that, and most of these spawners came from the Twilight Forest. I went back and I fought some more went through the other Twilight Lich towers, and yeah, I got some other stuff from that as well. So pretty much I made markers on the map and went back to all the Lich towers I discovered and went through and cleared the entire thing, like looted all the chests, made sure I got all the spawners, you know, cleared all sections of the tower. I fully cleared one and partially cleared two of the others, but yeah, I had to make a book barrel. That's how many books I was getting from the tower, because I have bookshelves all over and I just was breaking them. I was silk touching, but that was just too slow. I don't know, maybe I can make a silk touch axe at some point as well. And I also had to make these overflow chests down here. Pretty much, I just was getting too many of some items, and I didn't want them connected to the sorting network. And, you know, I didn't really want to just, like, blacklist those few types of swords and bows that just where I was getting too much of. Same down here, a couple types of blocks I was getting too many of, and it was overflowing this chest here. So, yeah, I made some overflow chests just to put stuff in manually that is clogging these chests, because there's just too many, and, yeah, overall, though, I'm not sure if I really want to do a quick... Let's just do a quick run through all these chests, just so you guys can see how things are at the moment. But, yeah, they have been getting kind of full. I really need to get working on the ME system. I actually was planning to do that next week. And, yeah, also the quarry did finish, and the quarry is in here. So, that was one other thing I had to mention. And I also moved some stuff from my ender chest here. Or in my ender, yeah, that was an ender, or my golden bag to my actual ender chest, because it was just taking up space, and these aren't items I really need that urgently. Wonder why that's not sorting. Anyway, but, you know, those aren't items I really need to, like, or I don't use often anyway, so I put them in the sigils, because I can access my ender chest anywhere with that. So, yeah, so it kind of freed up some more space in here, and hopefully will be a good idea. Also put some notes on this for this episode, for the outdoor and indoor stuff I want to do with the base, and also, I probably should know it now, because some people will probably be wondering, but, the sword's in here for a reason, because it's almost leveled up, and in an episode later this week, I want to make it its max tier and fully upgrade it. So I don't have it on my hotbar, so I don't accidentally use it and level it up too prematurely. So, yeah. But, besides expanding the spawner room, looting the Lich towers, having the book barrel and overflow chest, and collecting the quarry, I didn't really do much else, or I did other stuff, but I'll mention that in later episodes. That's kind of my tactic now. I only mention stuff when it's kind of relevant to the episode, rather than mention it all at once. But, yeah, the next thing I want to do is show you the tower, because I kind of finished that, quotation marks. And, yeah, after I show you that, though, we'll come back here and upgrade this base, because, yeah, it can really use it. Okay, so I decided to start at the top of the tower, and I'll be working my way down, and I'll be showing you the finished versions of each of the rooms, but, yeah, the reason finished is in quotation marks there is because these might be finished, but they're not final. They have their walls, ceilings, and floors and whatnot. You know, they're, like, have all the blocks they need to be a functional room, but I might want to change out some of the blocks, update some of the looks sort of thing, because when you're trying to build a tower in reasonable time, there's so many options, and it's just, you know, some styles I just go with so I can be done with it and move on, but there are several I would like to revisit later, or just change little things here and there. I do have the Wand of Equal Trade, or the focus of it, and I have been using that, which is why this isn't full. But, yeah, so pretty much there are some I would like to be changing, but at the roof here, I like how this is. I would like to make the outside of the tower a bit more interesting and not as plain, like add some design or something at some point, but I like how this looks. And this one, I forgot that was going to be an issue. So this one, yeah, personally I'm kind of about it because it's all the same block all the way around, but other people like it, and I think it fits for the whole power station. So now we come down to this floor, which is, I think, just an unused floor. I have no idea what to do here, and I like the full stone slab. I always have been a big fan of the stone slab look. I think that came up a lot in Ascension. And there's this white stone from Mine Factory Reloaded that is very similar. So I decided, just because I wanted to use these blocks, I'd put that here for this room, and I don't know, this room really doesn't have a purpose at the moment. I also might put slabs here so it's a bit better of a transition in and out. But, yeah, so that's what I have for this floor. like I said, I might change some of these blocks later. I still don't know what this room's even going to be for. Then we have the ME floor, or the ME room. And I pretty much like this design. The walls are the only thing that kind of doesn't, or is a bit more E, but I really like the floor and the circuit ceiling. And I don't know, this wire frame floor, it looks really cool, especially around here. Then we have a room that's probably the most costly. Okay, let me just say, lavender quartz is a pain to make. Because, let me actually just search it. So yeah, this is how you make mana quartz. You need specific flowers with a lavender purple color, but only 4 types of flowers work, and they only make 8 each. So I had to fly around for a while getting, I think it was mainly that one, and whoops, there is that other recipe to convert it back, and maybe tulips. I don't know. Pretty much I got a bunch of flowers just because I knew I wanted to use it as a trimming. I don't know. I might try and do like a trimming around the ceiling in the future, but I'm just out of the quartz and it's just a pain to make. But yeah, this is the trophy room. It's kind of a throwback to Ascension because I had the quartz trophy room, and I don't know. I like how it looks. I definitely could spice it up a bit more. There's other quartzes here, as you can see: Mana, Blaze, Lavender, Red Quartz, Elven, and Sunny. So I might try and use some of those other colors in here as well. But this is the basic design. I would like to do more detailing maybe, but yeah, it's just hard to get all the quartz. This room is undecided. It just uses some random blocks. I kind of like how these makeshift platings look, and thought they kind of fit the whole undecided, like under construction kind of feel. This is another block I liked, and that's another block I kind of liked. It was actually this block and this block I didn't know existed at first, or there were a few of the technical blocks I forgot to try. So yeah. This is the teleportation hub. I think since the last time you saw, I did change it around a bit. I'm not sure how much I like the ceiling just because it's a bit busy compared to the rest of the room, but I don't know, I think it kind of works well. I like the flooring, I like the wall, I like the ceiling block, but it's just kind of weird as a ceiling. That's the fuzzy panel. But I don't know, this is the teleportation room design. Now this is the one that's kind of an eyesore. Now the reason is I like all these blocks individual, but when you put them all together, it just makes a very dark and bad looking room. So I definitely will be changing this one. But this is supposed to be the Tinker's room. I try to go with a very like industrial look with, you know, the rusty metal plating. And I really like this floor, the gold plated circuit. I just kind of felt it fit with like the whole molten smeltery kind of thing. And I thought maybe the rusty metal plates would be a good ceiling, but this is just way too dark, and just the whole room together just has a very dark atmosphere, darker than I'd like. So I will be changing this. I'm just not sure what. I probably will definitely have to replace the ceiling with something. I might keep the walls. I don't know. But I do like the floor here. I might try and keep that and just change the ceiling. We'll see. Then we come down here. We have the tech room. So pretty much this was one of the hardest rooms because I decided on the floor a while back I wanted this to be the tech room floor. I think it fits well with the caution tape around the edges and, you know, this very nice gray floor. The walls and ceiling were a problem. I decided just to go with the shiny ceiling just because I didn't have many other options, or there weren't a lot of other blocks I like. It's kind of one of those things where I don't want the floors to look too repetitive. There's only so many different designs I have to go with. And this was a block I saw for the wall that I really liked. Actually, let me just break it so you can see. That's what it looked like in the chisel, so I did not think much of it. But then when I tried it out and saw it actually expanded to this really cool looking wall, so I think I will be keeping the walls. The ceiling's a bit more questionable, but I don't know, this is kind of what I'm going with. And down here is the farms. Once again, I might have to change just mainly because of the Holy Stone. It's a lot like the Grimstone, only like the good version of it. But it might be a bit too sparkly. I'm not sure how this is going to come out in recording even, just because there's so much stuff going on thanks to those little sparkles. But this is supposed to be the farm layer. And if we come down here, yeah, this is the, I think of the signs over here. This is the base hub, just kind of like the main area. And if you can't tell, I modeled it after the spawn base because I don't know, this is the design I've been using. The spawn base, I thought it was kind of fitting. So yeah, and over here is the Botanica Cove. This does have a mine area, or like a passage that I need to fill at least. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that exactly. That's the Thaumcraft area you saw a bunch. This is actually the blood magic thing, but I realized if I go out here, it won't be in the chunk loader range. So I was thinking of going down here to 75, having like a little area, and then going down here again, and just like looping back around, and then go down here to like 50Y and have the blood altar there. So I don't know, I might have to change that up in the future. That was just like a experimental design I was trying out. but I definitely think the blood altar will actually be under this room and not off to the side, just because I do want chunk loaded for some of the stuff I planned. And another thing I considered is I don't have a portal room dedicated to like the dimensions, and there was this area up here that I commented way back I wanted to do something in this area, so I thought, hey, maybe this could be it. And I tried seeing how it would go, trying to make a pathway down from this area, or, you know, the main hub to it, because originally I was thinking of maybe cutting over from the farms, which is why this was here, because this would be a very easy to make like a little staircase over. But I don't know. Either I do make it up there, or I do something else there and just make like a door here to a portal room, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so pretty much that's what I have for the tower. Hopefully that wasn't too long of an explanation, because I had to do a few attempts at some of that stuff too, because yeah, I'm bad with words. But yeah. So let me just cut back to the base and I'll talk a bit more there. So yeah, those are the designs I'm currently going with for the tower, but I also want to ask if you guys have any suggestions or things I should change, other blocks I should try using, or such. You can tell me by floor, or just, hey, try using this block in general. Also, light source is another thing I need advice on, because torches everywhere isn't really nice, and especially like in the tower, like towards the ceiling, it gets very shadowy, and I'm not sure what type of block to use. I know there's like arcane lamps. The magnum torch stops spawning, but I don't think it actually lights the area. And you know, I could do stuff like Nitor torches. I know there's a lot of stuff like that, Lux ducks even. But I want to see if you guys had any suggestions for like what I should try for the tower to help light each floor. You know, it could be a combination of different things or different floors even, but I don't know. I feel like I could do a better job of lighting than just torches everywhere. And I want to look into a more like final lighting solution for stuff in the tower. Like, you know, one floor could be glowstone, one torches, one lux ducks, one arcane lamps. I don't know, but just wanted to see if you guys had any suggestions of light sources I might not have known of. So, yeah. And as for the base, let me actually just start clearing stuff, because, well, the farms are going to be moving. So as I do that, I want to talk a bit about stuff. And yeah, so the main thing I want to mention, or one of the main things that also kind of relates to the tower, is that I also realized that, well, I didn't get any suggestions for what I should do with the base here. So I'm just going to be going off what I had kind of already thought of or planned. Let me just turn this off so I can trample this a bit easier. So, yeah, but, the thing to note is that, well, one, I always can come back and change things later, so even if you did have an idea that didn't get suggested in time for this episode, I can always come back and do more with it later, so don't feel bad there. Same thing for the tower. It's kind of, everything's a work in progress. Even though I'm devoting an episode to kind of fixing it, or, you know, updating it, it doesn't mean that I'll never come back and do more work with it. And I also realized that, or I'm mentioning it a bit because I also realized that around this time of the year, a lot of people probably have like finals in college, tests in school, and that completely slipped my mind. And also, you know, traveling just for holidays and whatnot. So yeah, that's something I didn't kind of consider, because at first when no one was giving me any suggestions, I was kind of like, oh, that's a bit depressing. And then someone mentioned to me that, oh, it might be because of the holidays. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's probably a good reason. I don't know. Maybe you just also didn't have anything to suggest, or I don't know. But, you know, I kind of noticed just in general, like, views have been a bit down, which isn't like a huge concern of mine, but just something that, you know, I like to know people are enjoying my content. It makes me a little ew when no one's watching it, but I don't know. I figure that's probably just because of the time of the year with tests and holidays and whatnot, and hopefully they'll pick back up, and some of you might have stuff to say later. So I just want to mention that now, that, you know, if you are watching last week's episode or this episode like 2 weeks from now because you were busy, yeah, you can always suggest it later, and I'll try and come back to it at some point and even do it off camera. So, yeah, anyway, now that I kind of got all that stuff out of the way, yeah, I want to renovate the base here. The first thing I want to do is remove those farms. I have a clipboard here with all the stuff I want to do, outdoor and indoor, so let's just go over it real quick. The base entrance, which is back here. It looks kind of out of place. Just kind of a hole in the ground that I put glass on. I probably won't keep the glass, but I thought there was more I could do here now that I'm trying to make this a more unified base. Okay, so instead of going over the list one at a time, I decided to go over all at once. So we have pathways, Renovations, beacons, and farms. So pretty much my idea is that I'm going to have a pathway coming from here, like around the base. Here where I have the little dirt bridge, I'm going to build a proper bridge. It's probably going to be a bit vanilla because I don't have like a lot of other designs in mind, but it's going to come here to the blood magic area. I am going to activate these beacons in this episode. I probably will pretty this area a bit more later or off camera. I don't know. I do want to do more blood magic stuff here in the next episode, but I don't really have like a lot of block designs picked out for what I want to be doing. So probably just going to wing that. And I want to move the farms back over here. I probably should turn the jetpack on before I jump off somewhere and die. So, over here, I want to relocate the farms. Maybe some even back here like it used to be. So that's just kind of my plan for the exterior. Now, inside the base, I want to upgrade my, well, main room here mainly. Because I realized there's a few things in here that I didn't have or could use. So I have some spaces here for some of the stuff. You already saw a lot on the list. There's a few other things I didn't put on the list just in case I have time for in the episode I want to get to. So, yeah. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is the pathways. I know what I want to do for the pathways, and I'll need this. Okay, so I turn the gravel into compressed gravel, and I need to take this and compress it once more into double compressed gravel. I actually only need 10. I'll just make 14 because it's easier than trying to count 10. And remove 4. But yeah, I think it was only 10 I needed. And this should make plenty of the thing I planned. Yeah, 10 double compressed gravel. Now, I don't think I want to use this because if I put this in here, I think it's going to immediately take it out. Is it? Huh, the sorting system's very bad. But, I guess it doesn't. So I have a whole bunch of tin ingots in here. And pretty much there's this one thing. Let me just start doing this. And it should take it out when it's done. If not, I messed up the sorting system at some point. So, if you look here at the recipes, if you put this in a smeltery and put tin over top, you get brownstone, which can be turned into a few different forms. Does it actually work with the chisel? I don't know, but I know you can craft brownstone. Let me just get to the brownstone page, and brownstone, I can turn into different things. I'm not sure. I think I might just want normal brownstone, which is smelted. Pretty much, you run faster on this. And road is the fastest, I believe. I actually don't have a tinker's chisel. Funny, it's kind of glitched there. Fancy brownstone as well. That's weird. This is pretty fast. This is a bit faster. I don't know. That's something I might need to play around with to see which is actually the fastest. I might even change more off camera. But, you know, I was just trying to find a good block for the pathways. I actually looked into trout and dirt. But that's a Botania thing that I actually can't do at the moment because it needs coarse dirt, which is also from Botania, and I don't have that stuff set up. So, yeah. But I thought brownstone would be a good choice for pathways because, well, it is kind of made for pathways, and I have a ton of it. Wow. So yeah, the normal brownstone road is just chisel. Actually, how do I make a chisel? I might just make one real quick just so I can do the Tinker's chisel stuff. Oh, it is actually extracting it too. So let me just see. Chisel. I'm just going to make one of these real quick out of some material so we can do that. So 1 second. Okay, so I made most of the different designs of brownstone just to test them out, see which ones I like better, and I think it's down to the two roads, this one or this one. I kind of like this one just because it matches this and also means I don't have to smelt it, but this one might be faster. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell speeds because I took off all my gear to see my sprint speed. This is normal without any possible modifiers, you know, no jetpacks, no shoes or anything that could affect it at all. So this is normal. I run across the brownstones. You'll see how it kind of speeds up. It's a bit jittery, but let's just try walking across it normal. So this is normal walk speed. This is for normal brownstone. This is for the road, which kind of jumps a lot. This is normal again. This is one of the other ones. I think the roads are definitely the top speed if there is one. So, I don't know, it just looks a bit weird because you kind of have that little jump there, but it is a tad faster. Now, if I sprint, it's far less noticeable, I think. And it just is a bit faster. So, I don't know, I think it's either down to that one or this one. So, I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose right now. I could always change it later. I kind of feel like I want to go with this just because, well, one, it means I don't have to smelt it, and two, it just, you know, it's a bit easier for me. And I feel like it matches the stone here a bit better because I think I probably will keep the stone design for the slope here. So, yeah. So now that I tested that, I'm going to gather this up and start work on the pathway. So, yeah. Okay, so I was working on the pathways, but I decided before I can really decide where I want the pathways to go, I need to kind of plan out what the farms and everything's going to be. So I started on the pathway here, and then I also did the base entrance. I don't know, I kind of just went with andesite here. I think that's how you say that, andesite. For the base entrance, and I expanded the ethereal glass a bit too, and, you know, just kind of redid this a bit. I don't know, I could change out the block here, or I was considering like maybe fences or something around that, or maybe like making a little roof over it, but I decided due to the emerald glass that really wasn't needed. And I prepared this area back here for the ender lily, but I want to make more ender cores to go with the farm as well, so I got some of that stuff on me so we can do that in a second. And, I just kind of was planning out the whole pathway. So pretty much I want to come up here. So it has to come down at some point. I want to come by the portal and then, just like over the bridge. I don't know. I might even put brownstone on the bridge and then kind of wood around it or something. I don't know. I'll see what I do with that when I get to it. I want to come over to the blood magic area. I will want to redesign this because this is going to be something I do next episode, but I want to pretty the area later. And I'll get to that stuff next episode. Anyway, so yeah, so I wanted to put the farms over here. I was trying to plan that out, so I got to the Ender Core stuff and thought I'd just give you a bit of an update. So I think I will check that off, because like I said, I could come back and change this block. I kind of want to use this design for a while now, the prismatic. And I don't know, I think it looks nice. It just kind of goes with the rest of the base look well enough. So I don't know, for the moment that's going to be it. So yeah. But I also I have to run around and grab like so many things. So I have been doing a bit of enchanting that I'll get to another episode, but these are all the enchantment books that just really aren't useful. So let me just grab a bunch of these, put them in here, and grab the rest of them. Come on, hopefully I have a... Oh, you're kidding me, just one short, darn. So these are enchanted books that really aren't useful because of their combinations of enchantments, so I thought I'd use them to make enchanted wood, so hopefully we can get more than just one wood per. So, let the chisel in there. Also, the chisel leveled up, you see in the chat there. I didn't know these chisels level. I don't even know what modifiers you can put on them, so if you do know, let me know in the comments, I guess. So, yeah, but magical wood is like that. And I could craft... Oh, I don't have the books on me. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just pull out some at random. Efficiency and smite. Let's see. I want to see if I can get some high-level ones. I almost would like to keep some of them because I do have ones I don't have. But I don't have to split the enchantments apart. Like power and efficiency. I already have a power book, I think, an efficiency book, a smite book, all like maxed here. So these aren't really useful. Feather falling, fire protection, efficiency, sharpness. Okay, so... let's see, what was the recipe again? I am horrible at this. Okay, so I did have some bookshelves lying around that I did a silk touch from the towers, I think. I don't know why I did multiple, because I'm only going to make one at the moment. And that makes 12. Okay, so pretty much I need to make a bunch of these ender cores. They each have 4 of these, 4 ender refused obsidian, which I can make a bunch of right now. And the other things I have enders, so I'm going to make them off camera, I guess, or just cut to when I have them, then I can plant the farm there. I might also plant some of the other farms, then cut back to when I'm making the farms, finishing the pathways, yada yada yada. Okay, so as you can see, I've been busy. I've been recording for well over an hour now, preparing all this stuff around the base. So as you can see, I kind of got the layout of the pathways down where I want the farms to be. That will be the sugarcane. Back there's going to be the watermelon and pumpkin. There's going to be the Bane farm. There's going to be the Ender Lily. I always get that mixed up. I keep thinking Ender Core. There's going to be the cacti. I didn't really know where else to put the cacti. I was considering down there, but that was just too small. So I decided to do a little path to there and have the cactus in the middle, trying to space it out with the pathways, nicely between, or keep it nice and symmetrical. Come to think of it, I probably messed up a tad with that because of how close they are to the solar panels, because I probably should have gave another space over. Like, I don't know, I could always just move these over one though. That should do it. I don't know, I might do that at some point. Like I said, I could always change this stuff off camera. But yeah, so I want to get this farm stuff set up a bit more, but I want to kind of speed through this episode a bit more now because like I said, I've been recording for about an hour and 20 minutes now. And I haven't really made much progress episode-wise, so I want to say the pathway is pretty much done. I'm finishing up the farms now, so I really want to focus on them and go through this stuff real quick. But yeah, I need to make a few more things. I got the ender cores, but as you can see, I have a bunch of stuff here in my inventory, and that's because I need to make a bunch of stuff, and my inventory is full. I did not expect it to be that full, and oh, I didn't even know I had watermelon in here. Huh. So pretty much what I want to make now is, as you might see here, fertilized dirt. So this is something from random things, and I need to make a bunch of this. So pretty much, I think that should be enough. I try to prepare enough anyway to fill all this and these. I might make some in the future for sugarcane as well. But pretty much what fertilized dirt is kind of like dirt combined with bone meal. It makes everything in it grow faster. So yeah, I wanted to get this, and I think you do need to till it. If you don't till it, that's when you can plant sugarcane on it. So I want to replace all the dirt in here with fertilized dirt. So how about I just cut real quick and cut back to when this is all prepared, so then we can start planting the crops and then move on to crafting other things. Okay, so I got all the fertilized dirt set up now. I had exactly 4 spare, so my math was pretty on point there. And yeah, so I might put more fertilized dirt for the sugarcane and even cactus in the future. I think it works on like all crops, but I only thought to do it for these for the moment. So yeah, now I can get all this set up, and I think I'm going to go back to kind of an old design here and kind of do like half and half with wheat in the center because I barely use any wheat. I don't know, potatoes is kind of a food source of mine still, and carrots I like using for the auto feeder. So I think that's what I'm going to do for this farm. So let me just plant this all real quick. And as for automation, I know I talked about how I want to automate it, and well, I could have done a basic like vanilla automation with like water from dispensers or something for this farm, but I just really didn't want to set that up. And you know, I don't have a lot of space up here to do a farm real well, especially because even like if I go down a few blocks, it will cut into the base. I think it's best to save that for when I do the farms in the tower, because I do have the whole floor dedicated to farms, and I can do some really cool stuff with the mods too. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. As for like automation, this is just like my, I don't know, kind of almost my backup base in a sense, or it's not my main base of operations, or it won't be in the future. It still is currently. And I actually don't have enough to set up, or I do, sorry, my bad. I was thinking I need 8, but I only need 4. So pretty much I wanted to change this a bit because before it had it so, well, it still does. I just realized that I messed that up. Whoops. Anyway, should hopefully be a bit better so they all don't grow the same thing, because before I just had them 3 or like a 3 formation, they could all grow 1. So now at least they have to grow 2, because like 1 here, that would take up all of them. But I don't know. Like I said, these farms aren't meant to be like super spectacular, amazing, the best farms possible or anything like that. They're just more of what I currently can do for farms, or what I currently am up to doing for farms just here. And also, I did try the big lily pads from Twilight Forest, but once you know, they do not work here because they were centered like I could do it on these 4 or these 4, but I could not get it in the center here just because of how like the chunks work, I guess, or something. I don't know. Is this a chunk border? No, it is not in the middle of a chunk, but I don't know. I guess it's just kind of one of those alignment things. So we got that. We got that. Okay, so we're making good progress at quickly setting up these farms. And, you know, like I have said a few times now in the episode, I can always come back and change things later. Hopefully this will make the cacti a bit easier to farm, because I don't know what I really need cactus green for, but I just liked farming it because it does come in handy. And oh, my netherwort farm in the basement. I could expand that or bring it up here. I don't know, maybe I'll even move it over there. But for the moment, I think I'll just leave it in the basement, same for the essence berry, and just build better farms for both of them once I move to the base. So, I don't know, I do want to keep up with the netherwort. I almost said nether core as I was placing the nether core, but we do have exactly 16. This looks really cool. It looks like it should be an end portal or something. I don't know, hopefully this doesn't trigger an end portal. But if you don't remember from way back, I was told that ender core does grow ender related seeds the quickest, even quicker than endstone. So combined with the watering can, I should be able to grow these really fast now. And yeah, hopefully this will help with a supply of ender pearls. It did take a lot to make that, but it should pay off over time. So yeah, I think the farms are kind of set up here. Like I said, I could always change more in the future. And, you know, down here, I have these kind of farms, and I have been harvesting both of them because I've been using the berries for levels, and the netherwort's good for Precantatio in Thaumcraft. I think I did say it right this time and not Perdito, or get those two mixed up. Anyway, so okay, so I think I finally can say I have completed the farms for the moment and the pathway. So I think the exterior is pretty much done besides the bridge and the beacons, which I hopefully still have time for this episode, because like I said, I've now been recording an hour and a half. So I know there's a lot of like times I'll cut out, but you know, still I don't really know how long the episode is because I've been doing so much off camera. That's more of it. So I don't know, I would like to still do something with the bridge though, but like I said, I really don't have a lot of ideas, so maybe I'll even just leave it how it is for now, or just do brownstone. Actually, I don't know, I could just do that between the next cut, because I probably will cut again when I step the beacons, but I do want to make a couple other things, which are the trash can, ender chest, enchantville, and upgrade this furnace here. So I think I'll start with this one. So if I just break it here. Okay, so I've been wanting to upgrade this for a while now. I just didn't have the resources, but when I was getting the blaze spawners, I made sure to keep some more mulching cores. Actually, I took the blaze spawners down to the mines to get them, because this is a very rare drop from blazes. Not that rare, but I did make it pretty rare. So it's not that easy to get a hold of, which is why it took me so long to be able to make it. And let's see, I know what the other things I needed were 2 nether stars. Let's see, redstone blocks, and that's it. Okay, so I did tweak this recipe. Thought I should mention that just in case you were wondering, because it turns out that the hell furnace is actually the most significant one in the series. So the whole furnace progression, you know, you start with an iron or normal furnace, upgrade to iron, upgrade to gold, upgrade to diamond. Then the hell furnace is like so much faster than the diamond. Then the extreme furnace is only slightly faster than the hell furnace. It's just kind of weird because it's like going from, actually, let me just put down and smelt something real quick just so you guys can get a good example of what I mean. So, don't really need either of those. So that's how fast this one goes. Which is, you know, compared to a vanilla furnace, that is still pretty fast. So now if I, need to break it again. Now if I were to upgrade this, my voice just kind of cut out a bit there, to a hell furnace, now let's do the same test. See how much faster that is? That's a huge upgrade, which is why I had to make this one so costly, and even more costly than the extreme furnace, really. So now this is going to be blazing fast, and just watch. It's just so fast. I would like to make the extreme furnace as well, but the problem with that is bedrockium needs a lot of cobble, because I'm evil. And, I don't know, I probably overdid it a bit, but I felt the original recipe was too cheap, so I made it 4-6-tuple with unstable ingots, or if you don't want to mess around with that or use diamonds, you can just smelt octuple, which are the max tiers. I don't know, time to think of it, I might cut that back a bit. So I'll put it on my list of things to bounce while editing, but yeah. So I might have got a bit carried away there. So the other things I wanted were the enchant. Okay, so I'm not sure how that cut went because I was trying to look up Enchantville and I couldn't figure out how to spell it, so I ended up just doing a longer cut, getting all the supplies to make all the stuff. So yeah, Enchantville. So this is how you make an enchantment table. I do not want to make that many enchantment tables. And like this, and this is a really cool thing. But before I show you what it does, I want to make the other things I have prepared to make. The ender chest. Oh, I didn't make the Eye of Ender first, and I forgot to grab the Ender Pearls. Whoops, I did not prepare as well as I thought I did. So I actually do need a couple Ender Pearls, but the Ender Chest, which is the same as the vanilla one, I want to make this just because I don't have one. Simple as that, I just never made one. And I'm not sure where I plan to, I think I plan to put it up there. I'm not sure if you can open one without a block above it. So this is a void stone, and what this does is you can just delete things with it. It's a portable trash can. Actually, I think I'm going to make one of them for my bag, just because a portable trash can is a cool thing to have. So when I was redesigning the trash can recipe, I just made it have a void stone, just because, well, I'm kind of evil and I like making things harder. I don't know, I probably got carried away and done more recipes than I should have. But yeah, and yeah, I need to remove this block here. I don't know, I'll put a slope there or something off camera, but pretty much since I moved some of the stuff from my golden bag here to the ender chest that I can access through the sigil, I decided I should make one for the base here as well so I can more easily access it. But yeah, what this does, so you can take enchantments off of items. So I have these items here with pretty good enchantments that I actually don't have books for. So if I put this here, I can either take the looting enchantment off of it, or I could get an iron sword back unenchanted. So I wanted that, so ta-da, now I have a looting book. And I can do the same thing for all these items. This one, an Unbreaking, 2 levels, ta-da, now I have an Unbreaking 3 book. So actually, let me just grab the berries here real quick and get a few more levels. Okay, can I actually, I think, no, it's kind of like the vanilla stuff. You can't really leave stuff in there. But Execution. Now, if you were familiar with Ascension, you might know what this does. Pretty much the lower the health an enemy is, the harder you will hit with it. So that's a really powerful enchantment. I'm glad I got it on the sword there. And the final one's Poison. I just haven't got this yet. It's a bow enchantment that does what it says. It poisons. So those are the main enchantments I want to get. I can even put these back right now. Oops, I moved it. I think it used to be there anyway. If not, I don't know why I went to that spot. So I'm just going to leave these in here. This is the one I have. So pretty much this is the chest I have for clothing books. I probably should have mentioned this. Pretty much in a future episode, I was going to go over the enchantment stuff I did, which is why I didn't really go over why there were 2 chests, but I realized that since I went there earlier this episode, that might be a bit confusion. Anyway, just ignore it for now. I'll come back to it later this week. So yeah. So if we go here, I think that kind of covers... Okay, so there was one other thing I did want to try and do here, but since this episode's running so long on my end anyway, I think I'm going to cut or not do that. So the other thing I want to do, how about I just pretty much I want to make the beacons, or set up the beacons, which I'm just going to do a cut for, but pretty much I want one beacon to be copper, tin, iron, and lead, because I have so many of their blocks, so I'm going to use them to make a beacon, but it's going to take me a while to hollow out the structure to make a max tier beacon underneath the blood altar there. Hopefully I don't run into my own mine. I actually did not think about that when I was planning this. Whoops. I don't really use that mine anyway. I'll figure something out. So, yeah. So, let me just go and do that and sort this stuff away and cut back to when I'm ready to finish setting up the beacons and the other thing I was going to do, the bridge. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that took a while, but I got the stuff ready for the beacons. Also, I decided just to make the bridge brownstone instead of dirt for now. I would like to make it a bit more fancy later, but I don't think I'm going to end up doing that this episode just because I spent a lot of time working on other stuff, and I want to get working on the next episode and not spend like 3 hours working on this one. I don't know, the bridge wouldn't take 3 hours, but I really don't know what I want to do for it now that I decided to do brownstone, because I was thinking of just doing like a birch bridge or something like that with like fences and stuff, slabs and whatnot, but I don't know. I could kind of do that around the brownstone, but I think I need to think more about bridge designs or what I want to do with this, but yeah. So all the beacons are maxed here besides this one. The reason is when I went to do the just 3x3, I had to extend this out so it wasn't into the ravine here. So if I did make it a max tier beacon, it would definitely cut to the ravine and to this. The other ones didn't cut into anything besides the basement of the blood altar, which I'll show you right now. So I did have to remodel the basement a bit, because as you see, they kind of came in a bit. It should not affect the rituals in any way. This side doesn't have it because it didn't go down this far, so I just kind of had to redesign it slightly. But yeah, now I run around, I should be able to just throw down these, and all of these should activate. So let me just, and these should all be maxed here besides that one, which pretty much I'm just turning it on just so it's on. And I don't even know what effects I want all these beacons to have. Let's go outside and see how it looks. So yeah, this is the blood magic area with the beacons now. I think it looks pretty cool and was worth it. Hopefully it doesn't cause any lag or frame drops or anything having those beams of light here now. So yeah, so this one has only level 1 effects. Honestly, I don't really want any of those. Thing is, I don't even know what I want to set the beacons to, but since I have made them, I think I might as well set them. So I think I'm going to do regeneration and haste. So now I have regeneration and haste 1. If I come over here to this one, I think I want to do resistance, definitely. Oh, I forgot to put that in there. So we have resistance 2, because if anything attacks me in the base, I want to be well equipped to deal with it. And for this one, I think I'm going to go with strength. I don't know, I could change it later, but I really don't need speed that badly, or jump boost that badly, or haste that badly. So I already have 1 tier of haste. So I think for this one, I'm just going to give myself a small speed boost to speed 1. Because, like I said, I really don't need these effects, and I couldn't do this one because it's not a full tier beacon. It's only a tier 1. So, I don't know, I think this should be enough effects for just around the base. And they won't all last too far. The speed should not even last this far. Yeah, see, it's not being reapplied because that's only a tier 1. The rest of them do seem to be applying all the way over here, though. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll even get rid of the speed or trade. Actually, I think I'm going to do that now. Let me just quickly change them. I want to change this one to haste. And this one to... there we go. Yeah, I want the speed to have a longer range than the haste. I don't know, I could change this around a bit more too. Like this one is the furthest one, so actually I think I would actually like to do that as well. Change it, so this is the strength one, because since this is furthest back, it won't reach as far, at least around the main base, and make this one resistance, so the resistance should be further. I don't know, but anyway, hopefully that makes sense anyway. So if I come out here now, the haste is what I'll lose, and if I went further, I should lose the strength because the one beacon there. I don't know. Pretty much it's set up to be hopefully a bit nicer, and now I have the speed, and these pathways look really fast. Not even that juddery now. Although, I really don't need the pathways to begin with. But, I don't know, it's moving pretty fast anyway, probably a bit blurry on YouTube's end. But now if I go through this and head back down here, let's see. I did upgrade the furnace. I did all that stuff. I did the beacons. Pretty much I did everything I wanted to do besides the bridge. So I think I am going to call the episode there, because this recording is going on 2 hours now, which is probably the longest I have ever recorded an episode of Untamed. Hopefully the edited version is still around 30 minutes and not like a 50-minute episode. That would have really sucked, but I'm pretty sure I have spent most of this episode, at least a good hour, probably hour and a half of it just off camera building stuff, or at least I really hope so. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed my rework of this base, the renovations, I think I'll call it. Yeah, like I've said a few times now, there is more to be done in the future. I definitely want to fix the blood magic area up there a bit more. I might want to extend the other beacon at some point, but it's not really that big of a deal. I don't really need the effects. I just did it mainly so the beams of light and it looked kind of cool. And, you know, I could also extend the tunnels or these little parts here so you see a block around it and it's not just dirt. So that's another thing, and I can always improve the farms at some point as well, and other things like that. And if you look here, I probably will get fertilized dirt for the rest of them off camera. And yeah, all these crops already grew, so yeah, fertilized dirt is really good. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up this episode here, so once again, hopefully you enjoyed all the base renovations, and yeah, until next time, goodbye.